near Sloane Square in the theatre. They were holding auditions in the Irish Club, and I am Irish, so I thought that was lucky. And so I went in, and there's Richard O'Brien in his snakeskin jacket and his hair, and Jim Shaw, the director, the Australian, in his white wedge shoes, very fashionable at the time. And Richard Hartley, the MD, was sitting at the piano, and he had the gentest hair out to here. And I thought, they look okay. So Richard Hartley said to me, may I have your sheet music, please? And I'd been told that I had to sing a rock and roll song, and I thought, I can't sing rock and roll. And he said, have you got your sheet music? And I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't. But I know it, it's in my head, the song. And I thought, oh yeah. And then I said, I'm going to sing a song by Josie Matthews. She was a 1930s star, and she was known for high kicks, that sort of thing. So I began, I was a prisoner locked in a jail, I've held the only key. And then she goes, over my shoulder goes one cat. I kicked. I didn't do the kicks, honestly. But I could see when I was singing that when I finished and they smiled. And Richard O'Brien said, if I play this on the guitar for you, this song, do you think you might sing along with me? I'll hand you the words. So he began, dun 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 dun. I don't know. So after that, I went running down the King's Road in Chelsea, skipping, and I thought, that song's great. And my agent called me within half an hour and said, they want you to do it. I said, oh great. And he said, no, just a minute, you haven't read the script. I said, I don't care, I read the song. And he said, well, you know, it was £18 a week, and he wasn't happy getting 10% of that. So he said, you haven't even read the script yet. So I said, I don't need to. And he said, well, you know, I said, what is it about this thing? He said, I think it's something about a circus. And he wasn't wrong, because I've been in this circus ever since. And that's what happened.
That is fantastic. I think we all love to hear more about the original production of the Rocky Horror Show. Where was it? How was it?
Well, it was upstairs at the Royal Court, which was a 60-seat room. And they were the designer was so inventive, because he had to be. Necessity is the mother of invention. I think my mother told me that. And so he decided he'd have a cinema screen, because there was nowhere to put the band in the 60-seat room. So he had to hide them. So he put them behind the cinema screen. And then they created an usherette to sing science fiction. And they didn't have a curtain. It's a room. And the stage was the width of a platform like that, with no set, except one chair for Rocky to stand on and do that. And so Brian Thompson, the designer, built scaffolding so that people like Nell and Pat could climb up and sit on different levels just to get a better look at this tiny place. And then he made a ramp for Tim Curry to come from the back down the middle of the audience. And that ramp stayed forever in that show, because what an entrance that made. He came down the back and like everyone, what was that? Stunning. And so they opened the show with me on a chair, holding my ice cream tray, usherette. So I was not shaken. And over me they put a piece of muslin netting so they couldn't see what it was. And the audience came in the door there and passed me on the stage, on the platform. And they started, some of them poking, thinking, what's that? I thought, it's me, stop it. And anyway, they had Richard and Nell and some of the others dressed as ushers with torches. That was quite scary masks. And touching the audience and being a bit scary. And they were a bit, oh. And they needed them because they had to come to me, and they lifted the piece of muslin and said, glad you could come tonight. And up got the usherette, science fiction, throwing glitter. So it was wonderful. And within 2 weeks, Mick Jagger, Bianca in her white suit and cane, which was her attire at the time, she was known for that outfit, and Elliot Gould, the actor, were all standing waiting for tickets to get in the queue. So I walked past them nonchalantly and sort of didn't notice them. I went upstairs and I said, Jagger's in! So we were changing in an office. We didn't have dressing rooms, we were all in an office. And I was quite demure, so I could go down to the bathroom, or whatever you call it, the loo, and change downstairs. And I go into the bathroom, and someone was in the shower. And they would go, who's that? He said, it's Rainer, Pat. Rocky. I said, oh, what's the matter with you? He said, I've got glitter under my foreskin and I'm going up I didn't want to sing. I said, oh, I'm back upstairs. Little Nell was sitting there saying, I'll play Rocky tonight, I'll play Rocky. And Jim Sharman, the director, came in and said, show cancelled. I thought, great, didn't have to do it. I got my things and back home. I had a 3-year-old son at the time, you know, I was a busy girl. Anyway, so that was quite something. Poor old Nick again. I fell off my chair. I was beyond amazed. This voice, at the age of, I think he was about 19 when was beyond, it was amazing. And I swear the chandelier shook. I thought, he's astonished. Wonderful. And then we were on the set one day when we were filming, and he said, I was voted the best kisser in my high school in Texas. I said, really? Oh, I would have to sample that. So he said, right. And I said, they were right. You are the best kisser in your high school in Texas. What?
Thank you so much. I think we can take one more. I see a hand here.